in light of President Donald Trump's recent decision to cut back on joint military exercises with South Korea. The head of state laid all the cards on the table during a Q&A with the press. 47 noted that his recent request for South Korea to assist the United States in the war with Iran was turned down by Seoul's president and concluded that South Korea was clearly unwilling to go the extra mile for the US. He pointed out that Washington has spent billions of dollars protecting them from their next-door neighbor, only for them to say they don't want to get involved.
Well, just so you understand with South Korea, look, South Korea has been protected by us for many, many years. And during my first term, they agreed to pay close to $3 billion a year for protection, because we don't, they essentially weren't paying. And I asked them to do that at my request. I said, not right. They weren't happy about it, but they agreed. I asked for $10 billion, and they were very unhappy. But we agreed for a short term that it would be $3 billion, the next year it would go up, and the next year it would go up, so they start paying for their protection. When the election was rigged and I ended up watching for 4 years and then coming back, I watched Biden rescind that $3 billion a year for whatever reason. When I called recently the president of South Korea, who I like, I think he's very nice actually, but I called him, I said, would you like to give us a little hand? We don't need help with Iran, but if you'd like, give us a hand with Iran. He said, no thanks. And I said, wait a minute, we have 39,000 soldiers over there guarding you from Kim Jong-un, your next door neighbor, and you're not going to help us on a very easy military operation in Iran? That's strange. No, we'd rather not get involved. I say, well, why are we involved in helping you?
How do you respond to folks who say that you are prioritizing the interests of adversaries in North Korea over our longtime partners by scaling back these military exercises?
No, I'm making it much safer. You see, I'm actually making it much safer. Kim Jong-un has always treated me with great respect, and we met on numerous occasions, actually, 2 primary occasions, spoken and spent time. I understand him, he understands me. You're doing war games. I get along with him. He didn't like Biden, he didn't like Obama, he didn't like anybody, but I get along with him very well. No, what I'm doing is making things safer.
At the U.S. side's proposal, the ROK in the United States agreed to make certain adjustments to the duration, scale, and other aspects of the exercise. First, they agreed to adjust the duration of this UFS exercise to run from the 17th through the 21st. Going forward, the ROK and the United States agreed to discuss and implement various measures to achieve the objectives of the UFS exercise and establish a combined defense posture.
The president remains firm in his resolve that Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon, stating they want to make a deal, but not the kind he feels is necessary. In a post on Truth Social yesterday, the head of state noted that no talks or conversations are taking place, and added that none are scheduled either.
On the expiration of the Memorandum of Understanding, are you any closer today to reaching a final deal to end Iran's nuclear program
Well, they want
than you
to
were
make a
60
deal,
days
but they're
ago?
not going to make the kind of a deal that I feel is necessary. Look, we're in there for one reason. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You understand that? Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon. And right now, them building one after what we did previously with the B-2 bombers, going to be a long time behalf. But Iran cannot have. It's very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
The president reaffirmed that the Strait of Hormuz is open and that oil prices are coming down despite conflicting reports. He also emphasized that America is in full control of the strait, with the US naval blockade still in place.
Last week you said that you would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be a territory of the United States. Could you elaborate?
Well, I just think it's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, we control it. We control it with the blockade. We have a blockade. We control it with the blockade. And I like the idea of declaring it a territory. We have total control over the strait. Now, they can be a nuisance. They can put a mine in the water, and people don't like having mines hit their billion-dollar ships, etc. But the blockade has been very effective. And, we're taking out, now maybe that will stop, or maybe it'll open up even further, but we're taking out millions of barrels of oil a week. If you look at the kind of numbers that we're doing, the strait is open, and the oil prices are coming down, and they will continue to come down unless we decide to do something far more drastic than we're doing. Iran is in big trouble. They have 300% inflation. The country is a mess, and the military is totally defeated.
Stay tuned to any of our Loveworld networks to stay updated with all the latest breaking news. And now we move right into more updates from around the globe. Hailed as a big win for Pakistan, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, together with Google's Vice President for Government Affairs and Public Policy, Wilson White, inaugurated the company's first local office in Pakistan on Tuesday. White stated that Google has contributed more than 3.9 trillion Pakistani rupees in economic activity for businesses and households in the country and supported over 960,000 jobs over the past 10 years, calling the new move a big milestone and a special moment.
Google has been investing in and committed to Pakistan for over a decade. And to be able to reach this milestone where we're opening a local office, I think is a very special moment.
Thank you very much. We're very grateful.
Yes. And Honorable Prime Minister, your ambition of making Pakistan a $30 billion IT export hub very much aligns with the goals that we have at Google. Over the past 10 years, we have contributed to more than 3.9 trillion rupees of economic activity for local Pakistani businesses as well as households in Pakistan, contributing to over 960,000 jobs. And this is just the beginning. Yeah. And we're committing and I think furthering your goal of the $30 billion IT export ambition in three ways, if you'll allow me to just call out the three big ways that we are partnering with this. We're doing it by investing in the Pakistani people. Yeah. We're doing it by investing in the manufacturing and the infrastructure around exports of hardware. And then thirdly, we're investing in local businesses. And maybe I'll say a few words about each of those three pillars that we're investing in. First, in terms of investing in the Pakistani people, we feel like the digital transformation that that's underway in Pakistan will only be successful. We'll only achieve this ambitious goal that you've laid out if we invest properly in our people. And one of the things that we've been doing this is in upskilling Pakistanis. So we have contributed to the upskilling of over 1 million Pakistanis through things like our career certificates, working with schools and teachers to help make sure that Pakistanis are prepared for the digital economy that's on its way. So first, later this week, we're going to announce that we will make Google Gemini subscriptions free for 1 year for all students.
The announcement comes with a free 1-year Google Gemini subscription for all Pakistani students. Sharif noted the benefits this cooperation holds for the country's youth, which accounts for roughly 66% of the nation's population. Critics on social media have raised skepticism concerning this new development, calling out the government for welcoming foreign tech investors, while the country faces severe debt and high inflation. One user on X stated that the Sharif government should rather focus on actual governance instead of photo ops with foreign companies.
Vice President Wilson and Shahjeh and members of wonderful team of Google. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Pakistan, and we hope that this is your first visit of many in times to come. Google is a household name, not only in Pakistan but around the globe, and there's a great scope to have a wonderful partnership with Google and enhance our relations in many ways. It's very interesting and sheer coincidence that you're here at a time when Pakistan is going through a major digital transformation in many areas of our governance. We have a youth bulge and we can really turn around Pakistan's fortunes. And we are doing a lot, but a lot more is required to be done.
More stories coming up after this short break. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for a night full of wonder. The lights are up, the stage is set, the spectacular show is here! Come and feel the energy, come and join the melody, a show for everyone, the fun has just begun. It's big, it's bright, it's bright, it's bright, it's wonderful tonight. Come and see the spectacular show.
Following Russian President Vladimir Putin's recent visit to the island of Iturup, Japan protested the trip, with Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi describing it as absolutely unacceptable. It is part of one of the southern Kuril Islands that have been under Russian control since the end of World War II, but remain claimed by Japan as part of its northern territories. The long-standing territorial dispute has prevented the two countries from signing a formal peace treaty. In response, Russia summoned Japanese Ambassador Akira Muto to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Moscow. He arrived on Tuesday after an initial delay, with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov criticizing Tokyo's reaction and called their statements completely unacceptable.
Our Japanese colleagues, our neighbors, have certainly crossed the line of propriety with their completely unacceptable statements, claiming that the President of the Russian Federation cannot visit any part of the territory of the Russian Federation. As for our ambassadors, yes, the Russian ambassador was summoned to the Japanese Foreign Ministry, where this protest was lodged against him. When we learned how Ms. Takaichi and her foreign minister had characterized our president's visit to his own territory and his own citizens, we immediately summoned the Japanese ambassador. The response from the embassy was rather vague. They hemmed and hawed before explaining that he could not come on either Friday the 14th or Monday, August 17th, that is, today, claiming he was either out of Moscow or feeling unwell. We never quite got a clear picture of the situation. This is certainly surprising, given that the ambassador is known for his boundless energy. In any case, we have summoned the ambassador. He is due to come to the foreign ministry, and we will discuss both the conduct of the Japanese leadership regarding President Putin's visit to the Russian island of Iturup, and the way the ambassador ought to conduct his work in the host country, respecting its laws and the procedures applicable to foreign diplomats in that country, in this instance, Russia.
Marking his first visit to Russia as president of Myanmar, Min Aung Hlaing met with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday. President Putin noted that relations between the two countries were established in 1948 and have developed steadily. The leaders discussed deeper bilateral cooperation, with talks focused on expanding defense and security ties, energy infrastructure projects, and agricultural and machinery trade.
Russia and Myanmar are bound by truly strong, time-tested ties of friendship, partnership, and mutual support. In the 1950s and 1960s, our country did a great deal to help establish the Myanmar state. Russia also contributed to its economic and social development and to strengthening its defense capabilities. The large-scale infrastructure, healthcare and educational facilities, built with the participation of Soviet specialists, continue to operate successfully and bring tangible benefits to the people of Myanmar. We give priority to economic ties. Stable channels for financial settlements have been established. 2/3 of commercial transactions are conducted in Russian rubles. Energy is an important area of cooperation between the two countries. The agenda includes the joint construction of a power station and an oil refinery in southern Myanmar. Russian companies are also ready to join in geological exploration and the extraction of hydrocarbons, including offshore. There are good prospects for Myanmar to organize exports of liquefied natural gas, and not only for domestic consumption, but also for transit supplies to neighboring countries. Partnerships are also developing in high-tech sectors. Russian businesses are offering to introduce their unique, cutting-edge technologies in the fields of digitalization, cybersecurity, and data storage in Myanmar. During our meeting, the President informed me in person that an agreement had been reached to build a Russian Orthodox church in Yangon, Myanmar's largest city. During the exchange of views on foreign policy issues, it was confirmed that the positions of Russia and Myanmar are identical or very similar. We firmly uphold the principles of the primacy of international law, sovereignty, and non-interference in internal affairs. Our countries have established close military and military-technical cooperation.
Due to Western sanctions on both nations being isolated from global trade and financial systems, the two countries have turned to each other for economic support and military aid. Russia has become Myanmar's primary supplier of military hardware, providing fighter jets, attack drones, and heavy artillery to the military government. Min expressed his gratitude towards President Putin for Russia's support following the earthquakes which struck his country last year, stating that with Moscow's help, many people were rescued.
Our two countries have been actively developing relations not only on the international stage, but also in other areas. As you said, there have been floods in our country, and they have not subsided yet. I would also like to express my gratitude for your condolences for those who lost their lives. Taking this opportunity, I would like to thank Russia for its support. Last year, our country was hit by earthquakes, which affected many people. Russia promptly sent rescue teams, which saved our people. I still remember this, so I would like to express my gratitude to Russia for its support. At the moment, relations between our two countries are actively developing. At this meeting, we will be able to discuss all possible agreements to expand relations between our countries. Russia has always supported our country and continues to do so. So I would like to express my gratitude. If we look at the history of relations between our two countries, they have been good. I hope they will remain so in the future. Mr. President, I would like to note that Myanmar is a reliable partner for Russia in Southeast Asia.
And now we'll be going for a short break. Stay with us as we bring you more updates from around the globe.
King's Conference online conferencing platform that allows you to have up to 1,000 users. All you need is an internet connection, and with our low data consumption, this is easier than ever. And a device, whether it's an iPhone, an Android, or you just have a laptop, you can join your King's Conference meeting. Jump on a call with friends and loved ones and use our emoji reaction to have the best time online. Take your work anywhere with King's Conference. Whether you're working from home, working in a coffee shop, or even on a beach or in the park, stay connected to all of your work meetings using King's Conference. Use our scheduling system to make sure you never miss a meeting again. You can invite other KingShot users to your meeting and they'll receive a notification in their inbox. Also, you have all of your meetings in one place with King's Conference. Whether it's a meeting you've been invited to or one that you've scheduled yourself, they're all listed out for you so you'll never miss a meeting again. Go to kingsconference.app and schedule your first meeting today. King's Conference. Stay connected.
The claims by the European Union that the mass border crossings from Morocco into Ceuta at the end of July was under control and that most people have been returned to their country has since been proven false. Recent reports show existing reception centers reached capacity, leaving many people in makeshift shelters on beaches and streets. On Tuesday, Spain's Minister of Inclusion, Social Security and Migration, Alma Saiz, announced the creation of temporary humanitarian attention spaces, involving the Spanish Army and other personnel, setting up military-style tents, bunk beds, portable water points, showers, toilets, and basic facilities. Ceuta's local government estimates figures of 10,000 or more still in the country, with reports of over 2,000 unaccompanied minors. And on Tuesday, David Morens, a former senior advisor of the Office of the Director at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, pleaded guilty in a U.S. District Court in Maryland, the one count of conspiracy to commit offenses and to defraud the United States. Morens deliberately used his personal Gmail account instead of his official government email for important discussions about COVID-related research grants to keep his messages out of public view. However, using a personal email to hide conversations is illegal, and he now faces up to 5 years imprisonment. As part of the plea, Morens also admitted to accepting small gifts from an associate, including bottles of wine. Archive footage from the congressional hearings reveals how Morens tried to hide official COVID-related emails from the public. His sentencing is scheduled for November 12th.
And I'm sure as you've already testified, you're aware that deleting federal records is a crime. And as you've said, you previously testified that you did not delete any federal records. But on February 24th, 2021, you wrote, quote, "I learned from our FOIA lady here how to make emails disappear after I'm FOIA'd, but before the search starts. So I think we are all safe. Plus, I deleted most of those earlier emails after sending them to Gmail," end quote. And the next day on February 25th, 2021, you wrote, quote, "But I learned the tricks last year from an old friend, Marge Moore, who heads our FOIA office and also hates FOIAs," end quote. On April 21st, 2021, you wrote that Dr. Fauci is, quote, "too smart to let colleagues send him stuff that could cause trouble," end quote. On June 16th, 2020, you wrote, "We're all smart enough to know to never have smoking guns, and if we wouldn't put them in emails, and if we found them, we'd delete them." Now, did you ever have conversations with Dr. Fauci regarding deleting emails?
I don't remember any such thing.
You don't remember?
No, sir. And it would be very, Tony and I don't have those kind of conversations.
Did you ever delete any official records?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, but again, we're at the issue of defining what's a federal record. I deleted a lot of emails. I do it every day. But in my mind, they're trivial things not related to government business.
Let's take a recap of today's headlines. President Trump adjusts military cooperation with South Korea in response to Seoul's position on Iran.
But they agreed. I asked for $10 billion, and they were very unhappy. But we agreed for a short term that it would be $3 billion, and next year it would go up, and the next year it would go up, so they start paying for their protection.
Google opens its first local office in Islamabad, Pakistan.
For the past 10 years, we have contributed to more than 3.9 trillion rupees of economic activity for local Pakistani businesses as well as households in Pakistan, contributing to over 960,000 jobs. And this is just the beginning.
Spain sets up emergency humanitarian shelters in Ceuta following the migrant crisis. Former NIH advisor pleads guilty to conspiracy charges for hiding COVID research emails.
On June 16th, 2020, you wrote, "We're all smart enough to know to never have smoking guns, and if we wouldn't put them in emails, and if we found them, we'd delete them." Now, did you ever have conversations with Dr. Fauci regarding deleting emails?
And that's a wrap from all of us here in Cape Town. I'm Melissa Negrini, bringing you the latest on global developments.